Good evening. On behalf of New Music Scotland, welcome to the Scottish Awards for New Music 2021. I'm just going to do a little bit of housekeeping before I hand you over to our host for the evening. The first thing that I'd like to tell you is that our original plan was to have Tom Service standing behind this very lectern, but unfortunately he's been pinged, so he's having to isolate for a few days. We're incredibly grateful to the wonderful Andrea Baker for stepping in at the last moment. She hosted our first ever awards, so it's great to have her back behind the lectern. Our second bit of information for you is that we had hoped to have some live performance from Catherine Wren, also known as Nordic Viola, who is also a member of the RSNO's viola section. Catherine, similarly, has been pinged. So she managed to record a couple of pieces for us earlier on, so you'll hear them later on today. We'd just like to thank the RSNO as well for lending us their fantastic venue tonight. It's brilliant to be in a performance space. And now I'm just going to hand over to Claire Hewitt, who is the music officer for Creative Scotland, who's just going to say a few words on their behalf, and then Andrea will be behind the lectern.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 2021 Scottish Awards for New Music. My name's Claire Hewitt, and I'm a music officer at Creative Scotland. We're delighted once again to be supporting this event. Together with annual awards for jazz, alternative music, traditional music, and the multi-genre Scottish Album of the Year award, the Scottish Awards for New Music completes a constellation of events that signal to the public and the music community at home and abroad the richness and quality of musical work created in Scotland. Tonight's ceremony is a celebration of the creativity, talent, and resilience of a sector in which I'm very proud to work. Congratulations to Charlotte Rogers for her beautiful award designs and to all tonight's nominees. Thank you to New Music Scotland, all the event staff, presenters, sponsors, and everyone who is involved in the nomination and selection processes. And thank you all for the part you play in making Scotland's new music scene the vibrant, exciting, and hopeful place it is to work. I look forward to seeing what this evening and its golden envelopes hold, and I hope that you'll all have a wonderful time. Thank you.
Music 2021. It's about celebrating what did happen, and there was plenty of it. Before we get started, let's have a quick look at the award itself. Created by Charlotte Rogers, this beautiful curved glass sculpture has a sound wave etched into it that was extracted from the winning work or project for each category. Have a look at the New Music Scotland website to see a short video that shows how she made them. So, without further ado, our first category is the award for large-scale new work with more than 11 performers, sponsored by PRS for Music. The panel was struck by the strength and depth in the nominations and the number of works that they hope will become regular items on concert programs in the future. With this in mind, there's a larger shortlist than normal, so we're opening with the largest shortlist. James Dillon's Pharmakia, for 16 players, is a work of almost an hour in length, premiered at the Huddersfield Contemporary Music Festival in 2020 by London Sinfonetia. In 4 sections, Pharmakia explores the ancient Greek interest in divination, sympathetic magic, and the binding power of magic. Above the Stars by Aileen Sweeney was written for the London Philharmonic Orchestra and premiered in November 2020. The piece sets out to explore Scotland's political situation, in particular, our unique relationship with the EU from within the UK. Fragments of Scottish folk music become more prominent, demanding to be heard, eventually blending with a theme from the final movement of Beethoven's Ninth Symphony. Written for the BBC Philharmonic Orchestra, the premiere of This Departing Landscape by Martin Suckling had to be postponed and eventually took place as part of a concert broadcast on BBC Radio 3. Martin took Morton Feldman's observation that music somehow slips away from us even as we're hearing it, a departing landscape, as a starting point, focusing on a mysterious force that propels the musical landscape. Matthew Whiteside's Night Thoughts was written for Dublin's Crash Ensemble and premiered at the start of March 2020, just before COVID arrived. For 11 players, Night Thoughts centers around a rocking motif which builds and then collapses throughout the piece. As one of the panel commented, just like, well, night thoughts. Our final shortlisted piece is Vigil 1 by Nefea Crutwell-Reed, written for 3 vocal quartets from the Dunedin Consort. Vigil 1 takes a text from a poem by Rainer Marie Rilke, Veligian, and layers the original German text over a 1918 English translation by Jessie Lamont. The poem speaks of the period where dusk becomes night. The atmosphere is charged, wakeful, and expectant. PRS for Music's Stuart Fleming joins us via Zoom, poised to tear open the golden envelope.
Hi, thank you. So on behalf of PRS for Music, I'd like to congratulate all of tonight's nominees and wish everyone the best of luck. And we're delighted to be sponsoring these awards again. So the winner of the award for the large-scale new work is Aileen Sweeney's Above the Stars.
Congratulations, Aileen, and thanks to PRS for Music for supporting the category. The award for installation, sound art, or electroacoustic work was another that provoked a lot of excitement for the panel. It's a good sign when people listen to things a few times because they really like them. Michael Begg's Be Mine in Patience and Embrace in B minor was a remarkable project, which resonated strongly with both audiences and those involved in contributing to it. An expansion of a simple original idea in which Michael's group, the Black Glass Ensemble, performed a short Embrace in B minor, a key associated with patience historically. The work effectively crowdsourced contributions to a much wider embrace, particularly striking at a time when an embrace was pretty much illegal. Cheap Emotions by Darlene Zarabozo was born from a collaboration with writer Phoebe McGowan. The work uses spoken text and music to fragment and toy with the concept of time as a narrative when processing the end of a connection between people. Described as a sonic miscellany and collections of dispatches from train stations and hotel lobbies up and down the east coast of the UK, Stolen Voices is a creative research project by Rebecca Collins and Joanna Lindsley. It uses eavesdropping as a framework to ask, what does it mean to live in the UK now? The small details and conversations can be revealing and lead to more questions as well as answers. The sonic miscellany and collections of dispatches from train stations and hotel lobbies down the east coast of the UK. Pete Stollery. Our fourth shortlisted work is a collaboration between Martin Suckling, choreographer Joan Clevelet, and cinematographer Genevieve Reeves, created in partnership with Scottish Dance Theatre and the Scottish Ensemble. The work, for solo violin and solo dancer, can be experienced in 21 different combinations, which can get addictive, which the audience can choose. The piece, hosted on a bespoke online platform, explores how heightened attention can reveal different experiences of time in our bodies and the environment around us. We're very grateful that the Musicians Union is supporting tonight's performances from Nordic Viola later in the event. So I'll hand over to Iona Fife, who has her letter opener poised. Can be experienced in 21 different combinations, which can get addictive, which the audience can choose. The piece, hosted on a bespoke online platform, explores how heightened attention can reveal different experiences of time in our bodies and the environment around us. We're very grateful that the Musicians Union is supporting tonight's performances from Nordic Viola later in the event. So I'll hand over to Iona Fife, who has her letter opener poised.
Good evening, Abdi. I'm Iona Fife. I'm delighted to be here on behalf of the Musicians Union to present the award for installation, sound art and electroacoustic work. A huge congratulations to every single nominee. The ability to persevere, compose and create new works during a very trying and challenging year is a testament to every single one of us. Right, I'll get on with it. This envelope has been staring me in the eye all week and I've just wanted to open it. So the award for installation, sound art and electroacoustic work goes to Martin Suckling and Joan Clevelet and Genevieve Reeves, performed by the Scottish Ensemble and the Scottish Dance Theatre. Congratulations. Thank you so much for having the Musicians Union be a part of this event.
Congratulations to Martin, Joan, and Genevieve. And now, the Good Spirits Co Award for Innovation in New Traditional Music. This was the first panel meeting of the week, and it set the bar high. The category looks at innovation in terms of approach, musical philosophy, and a search for a fresh sound with roots firmly in traditional music. All of the nominees had something about them that was instantly identifiable as being trad music, but also had a freshness that communicated a search for new approaches and sounds. My Light Shines On was a project led by Adrian O'Rourke. He was joined by Brigitte Campbell, Bashir Sadeh, Rachel Somani, and Graham Stephen for a filmed performance facilitated by the Edinburgh International Festival. The five musicians share musical ideas in a rare moment of mid-pandemic calm, blending ancient Arabic and Scottish forms with improvisation, jazz, and newly written music. Grit Orchestra, with Greg Lawson at the helm, returned to Celtic Connections in January 2020 with a new project, The Declaration. 7 composers, Rudy de Groot, Fraser Fifield, Patsy Reed, Donald Shaw, Chris Stout, Katrina Mackay, and Paul Towndrow, contributed to a 6-movement work which took the Declaration of Arbroath as its starting point. In contrast to the scale of the Grit Orchestra, our final shortlisted nominee is a duo. Fiddle player Alistair Savage was joined by flautist Charlie Ashton for the Down the Line, a piece that reflects on the struggle to stay in touch with family and friends during lockdown, and is dedicated to everyone who relied on phone and video calls to keep in touch with loved ones. Speaking of video calls, Matthew McFadden of the Good Spirits Co. is waiting on Zoom with a golden envelope in one hand and hopefully a wee dram in the other.
On behalf of the Good Spirits Company, we are delighted to support the Scottish Awards for New Music. And the winner is Grit, The Declaration. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Grit Orchestra. Our next category was new last year, and we're delighted that Locavor has chosen to support it. The Locavor Award for Environmental Sustainability is possibly the most important one of the night. Given the state of the world right now, and the shortlist is as inspiring as it is impressive. Composer Chris Hutchings, who runs Choirs for Climate, used a libretto by American poet Jane Hirschfeld for the choral work Let Them Not Say. The piece is available under a Creative Commons lease to allow its use by choirs who want to explore the importance of positive action against climate change or to fundraise for environmental causes. Nevison's Ensemble's Lochen Sketches is a project which paired composers with groups from across Scotland, each of whom had a strong connection to Scotland's seas, lochs, islands, and rivers. These groups acted as commissioners, highlighting the role that these environments play in our lives and the need to protect them. Works by Robert Reed Allen, Harry Gorski-Brown, Fergus Hall, Lisa Robertson, and Ryland Gleave were all premiered in 2020, with a further 5 following in 2021. Nevis Ensemble partnered with the Scottish Ensemble to set up the Scottish Classical Sustainability Group in 2020 to create a working group that aimed, for the first time, to bring together the many orchestras, ensembles, festivals, and funders that comprise Scotland's thriving classical ecosystem to explore how the classical sector can become more sustainable. The group now includes over 20 ensembles and is leading the way in positive action for musicians. Locavor's Ruben Chesters is on hand to open the envelope. Working group that aimed, for the first time, to bring together the many orchestras, ensembles, festivals, and funders that comprise Scotland's thriving classical ecosystem to explore how the classical sector can become more sustainable. The group now includes over 20 ensembles and is leading the way in positive action for musicians. Locavor's Ruben Chesters is on hand to open the envelope.
Thank you very much for having me along here this evening. It's an honour to present this award, and it's a fantastic sign that this very award exists. Congratulations to all the nominees this evening who have done lots to raise awareness of the issues and hopefully make changes in the way things are done in the future in terms of environment and sustainability. Without further ado, I'll open up the golden envelope here and see what we have. So the winner of the Locavor Award for Environmental Sustainability is the Scottish Classical Sustainability Group, led by Nevis Ensemble and Scottish Ensemble. Congratulations.
Congratulations to the Scottish Classical Sustainability Group. Now that it's been announced, New Music Scotland will be asking to join tomorrow morning, and we would seriously recommend that each and every musician in Scotland does as well. This isn't an issue that's going to go away unless we do something about it. So let's work together on this one. We're going to take a brief break from the announcements as Catherine Wren, the brains and viola behind Nordic Viola, bring us some music. As Andy mentioned earlier, Catherine was supposed to be here today, but sadly is having to isolate at home. Technology to the rescue again, though. So she recorded Geese Flying Over My Head, Then Into the Distance by Electra Pervolaris for us earlier on. Electra visited Kellavrock in southwest Scotland many times during winter months, when the entire population of barnacle geese from Svalbard migrate to this part of Scotland. On one occasion, as she was leaving, a distant shape appeared in the sky. It came closer and closer until the sky above was filled with geese and their voices. After they had passed over, they flew away into the distance. Thanks, Catherine, Electra, and all of those geese. Thanks also to the Musicians Union who are supporting the performances tonight. Now to the Dorico Award for Solo Work, sponsored by Steinberg. This is an extra category that the panel felt was appropriate this year, as so much work was made under lockdown conditions that solo works made up a large portion of the category. In keeping with the last category and the piece that we've just heard, many pieces in this category drew inspiration from the natural world. First up, Ailey Robertson's Skydance, written for Riot Ensemble's Louise McMonagle, evokes a memory of an elaborate courtship, Skydance, performed by Hen Harrier in an attempt to impress a potential mate. Ailey was lucky enough to see the Skydance in the skies above Orkney. So while stuck inside her flat for lockdown in Glasgow, memories of freedom like this were precious. For years, Martin Suckling would sing to his children every evening as they dropped off to sleep. Folk songs, made-up songs, anything to create a calm circle of sound. Her lullaby reflects on this, with justly tuned intervals alongside quasi-improvised melodies, creating a snapshot of time spent singing for his children from wakefulness to sleep. Curious by Sonia Alori introduces the panel to an instrument even they'd never encountered before, the iwi, an electronic wind instrument. The work opens confidently with a single note, leading the listener through a development of a fragment of melody, through the gradual introduction of electronic sounds, all generated by the instrument itself, to listen in a different way. The fragment weaves its way through a number of sonic guises, never settling, becoming eerie, mysterious, but still hopeful. It ends with a cliffhanger when, well, you'll have to have a listen to find out. During lockdown, guitarist and composer Simon Thacker would often record a short improvisation on his phone to send to a circle of friends in India and Bangladesh, and sketches, poems, and Bengali songs would come back to him. Omanjana began life as one of these improvisations, which Simon then expanded into a longer piece. It's a work that is particularly direct and characteristically multi-layered, expression of friendship and joy in sharing creativity. It's great to have Steinberg, the makers of Dorico notation software, supporting this new category. So I'll hand over to Daniel Spreadbury to announce the winner.
We at Steinberg are delighted to be supporting the Scottish Awards for New Music again this year, and especially this special new solo category. I have the golden envelope here in my hands. And the winner of the Dorico Award for Solo Work is Ailey Robertson's Skydance. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Ailey. Our next category is the RCS Award for Community Education Project. There was a brilliant selection of projects to look at here. It was especially impressive that so many projects, not just the shortlisted ones, but so many, pivoted to online and distance work without it derailing things in the slightest. Good work, everybody. A partnership between the University of St. Andrews and the Wallace Collection led to STAMP, part of a 5-year project in Fife to support and invigorate the cultural heritage of brass playing. STAMP used polycarbonate natural trumpets, of course, to teach over 70 children to play the trumpet. Online brass camp, star guests from around the world, and a final concert involving new music by Andrew Knight Hill and from STAMP participants, inspired by Stockhausen and astronomer Anne-Marie Wymans. Explorathon 2020 was a Scotland-wide festival of research. Researchers from the University of St. Andrews joined forces with 8 composers from the RCS for the Intersections program. Pieces were based on everything from glaciers to fractals to the commercialization of 19th century typewriters in a project that was a fine example of knowledge exchange. Sonic Bothy's Bothy Learning Space program provides opportunities for musicians with additional support needs who wish to explore their music further than general participatory sessions. It combines learning about music history with composition, improvisation, and performance in an open and accessible way that suits the individual and their interests. We're very grateful to the RCS for their support of this category since the creation of the Scottish Awards for New Music 5 years ago. I'm so delighted to have Stephen Broad ready and waiting on Zoom.
Well, on behalf of the Conservatoire, I am delighted to say how pleased we are to support this important event, possibly more important this year than ever before. So hearty congratulations to all the nominees. And if you'll allow me to wrestle with the golden envelope, I'm delighted to say that the winner of the RCS Prize for Community and Education is Stamp, the Wallace Collection, and the University of St Andrews. Congratulations.
Congratulations to all at the University of St Andrews and the Wallace Collection. The next category is new this year. It's a category where the visuals and music need to work together. So it's great to have EVM, who've created all of this once again, as the supporters for the EVM Award for New Music for Media. The panel were really impressed with the way that the music consistently reflected and enhanced the subject and narrative in the nominated films and games. The shortlisted works are Francis McDonald's score for The Trial of Alex Salmon, a documentary for BBC Two made by Two River Media, where Kirsty Wark represents the unfolding of a story with which we are now all very familiar. Linda Buckley's music for Henry Glassy, Fieldwork. Directed by Pat Collins, this portrait of the ethnologist Henry Glassy focuses on his passion for learning about people all over the world through the objects they create. It's a mesmerizing journey through the US, Brazil, Turkey, and Ireland, and Linda's music is with him every step of the way. Lucy Holland's soundtrack for Seo, a fantasy film directed by Jeremy Rubia about a girl who lost her twin sister 2 years previously, and every day goes to a local temple in Tokyo to pray for a chance to speak to her again. One night, on her way home, a strange taxi driver picks her up and transports her, with the help of Lucy's score, to another world, the land of souls. EVM's Matthew Fennan was transported from another world via Zoom earlier on.
As a former viola player, it's great to listen to some fantastic viola music this evening. And it's also great to be here to present the EVM Award for New Music in Media. So congratulations to all the nominees. And the winner is Seo by Lucy Holland. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Lucy. Next is the SMIA Award for Creative Programming. Cryptic's Sonic Bites program is an eclectic selection of works from 27 composers and creators, each released as a lunchtime streamed performance. The project allowed composers to explore new approaches to collaborating digitally and to explore the opportunities offered by being restricted during lockdown. The lunchtime slot provided people with an inspiring cultural escape from the endless emails and Zoom meetings of a workday in 2020. Breathe and Draw is an audience engagement work created by the Nevis Ensemble and Alex Ho. Scored for two ensembles, a group of drawers and a group of writers, one ensemble plays a fully scored piece throughout, whilst the other improvises on graphic scores from the groups of artists. So far, they have over 500 graphic scores from audiences. Sound Festival 2020 was hit by some late changes in restrictions. But sound, being sound, They quickly adapted to create a mini festival in October, with part 2 to follow in 2021. The Endangered Instruments theme continued with a feature on that most captivating of instruments, the horn. Other threads included highlighting composers with disabilities, performance platforms for music by emerging composers, screening of several films, including Scottish operas The Narcissistic Fish and Sam Perkins' Grey Area, blending skateboarding and music, and Pete Stollery's COVID-19 sound map. The Scottish Ensemble's 2020 program included a balance of old and new music. Martin Suckling's collaborations with Joanne Cleveland and Genevieve Reeves, These Bones, This Flesh, This Skin, has already been mentioned this evening. It was joined in their program by the 14th Sonic Meditation by Pauline Olivieros, Tumbling Song, which allowed audience members to contribute to the final performance, and by a collaboration with Untitled Projects, We Are in Time, featuring music by Valgeir Sigurdsson and a libretto by Pam Carter. SMIA's Robert Kilpatrick is unmuting himself at this very moment.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Scottish Music Industry Association, I'm delighted to be here supporting the Scottish Awards for New Music 2021. Congratulations to all nominees and eventual winners, and to the New Music Scotland team for putting on such a fantastic event at such a crucial time for Scotland's artists and wider music industry. Delighted to be presenting the award for creative programming. Big moment. And the SMIA Award for Creative Programming, the winner is Scottish Ensemble 2020 Programme. Congratulations.
Congratulations to the Scottish Ensemble and their stable of collaborators. The RCS Award for Making It Happen is about proactive musicians who take time to build projects from scratch and often look for ways to facilitate work by other people. That's a special quality in a musician, especially those at the start of their professional lives, and is something to celebrate. The Ear to the Ground podcast series was started by Aileen Sweeney and Ben Eames in the autumn of 2020. Each episode profiles a different composer or event, with Aileen and Ben conducting the interviews and producing the podcast. A worldwide following has built up very quickly. The Owen Wilson Elegies is an audiovisual project by Instruction Manual, a duo made up of Scott Morrison and Ollie Hawker. Based on a throwaway joke from an interview with the eponymous actor, the Owen Wilson Elegies traverses through unique miniature sound worlds that are equal parts humorous and emotive, beautiful and sad. Rufus Isabel Elliott created the Over At series, a trans, non-binary, and gender-diverse music-making world at the start of 2020. The project encompasses a whole imagined world and has incorporated live performances, new commissions, recording projects, workshops, learning resources, and more. Stephen Broad is ready to open his second golden envelope of the evening.
Hello again. It's my great pleasure to be announcing the winner of the RCS Make It Happen Award, and my second golden envelope of the evening. The winners are Aileen Sweeney and Ben Eames for Ear to the Ground.
Congratulations, Aileen and Ben. We're going to take another quick break from these envelopes for a few moments. Earlier this year, Scotland's music scene lost a man who really did make things happen. When the former principal viola of the RSNO and a hugely respected teacher, James Durrant, passed away. He was a familiar name and face to many musicians in Scotland. As well as being a famous orchestral player, he also commissioned a lot of works for solo viola. So we'd like to pay a tribute to him with a section of Eddie Maguire's Legend, played by Catherine Wren, who is not only Nordic viola, but is also a member of Jimmy's old section at the RSNO. Legend for viola and tape was written in 1978 when Eddie had the use of University of Glasgow's new electronic music studio to create the piece. It features Jimmy's own playing on the tape. Catherine, Eddie, and Jimmy. Our next category is the Mark McCargo Award for Innovation in Jazz. The panel discussed an intriguing variety of nominations. There were innovative approaches to the musical content, the source material, the collaborative aspects to projects, and the concept for projects and pieces. So it made choosing a shortlist, let alone a winner, very difficult. Live from 435 Quarto Alto, Liam Shorthall set out to release a new piece of original jazz every third Friday for a year. An ambitious project at any time, but this became almost addictive. There were 20 releases by the end of the project, which spanned pre- and mid-COVID times, with musicians from across the globe contributing. Paul Towndrow's Deepening the River is a project that's been developing for a number of years and was completed during 2020. The piece, for big band, fiddles, pipes, tabla, low whistles, and bansuri, is in the first instance about Glasgow, its citizens, its diverse communities, its complex history, its collective consciousness, and its international reputation throughout history. The music is intended to invite exploration and reflection on Glasgow, its people, history, and culture. The Edinburgh-based Playtime Collective has, from its inception, been focused on providing an inclusive platform for musical experimentation. They quickly and impressively adapted to online performances, with the core quartet of Martin Kershaw, Graham Stephen, Mario Caribe, and Tom Bancroft, enticing top players from all over the world to join them for distanced performances. We're delighted to welcome a new sponsor for this category. Mark McCargo, he's on Zoom, ready to make his debut with the golden envelope.
Hello everyone, I'm very excited to be supporting the Scottish New Music Award for Innovation in Jazz this year. We have 3 excellent nominees from a very rich collection of jazz that's going on in Scotland. Any of them would be a worthy winner as far as I'm concerned. I have here the magic envelope, and the winner of this year's Mark McCargo Award for Innovation in Jazz is Liam Shortall, Quarto Alto. Congratulations, Liam, and all your collaborators.
Congratulations to Liam Shorthall, aka Quarto Alto. We've already had part 1 of this category. It's the Dortico Award for Small Medium Scale Work, sponsored by Steinberg Next. Our 4 shortlisted works are Reflecting Instruments by David Horn, which was commissioned by the University of Glasgow's McEwan Bequest and premiered there by the Nanhai Trio. The trio explores the interplay between the timbres of the violin, cello, and piano, allowing each to reflect the others. Nora Maratsaitis' High Energy Music for saxophone trio, 2 percussionists, and electric guitar is the result of a collaboration with the theoretical physicist Gediminas Sarpis. The piece's logic, pitch choices, and structure are all determined by the results of a research project that he conducted at CERN, and then a whole lot of time explaining to Nora. Archipelago, Transmissions Between Islands by Lisa Robertson was conceived to be performed over Zoom. Written for any enemy and premiered at an online performance organized by Sound, the work imagines a ship's radio transmission as inter-island messages are distorted and interrupted by the technology. The musicians work together with the delay of Zoom, creating heterophony in imitation of traditional Hebridean psalm singing. Other inter-island sounds, like those of the wind and waves, are performed by Zoom's slight, ever-present background noise. Edwin Hillier's Plastica for sextet and electronics was written for Explore Ensemble in early 2020. Inspired by Alberto Burri's plastic combustion artworks from the 50s and 60s, where plastic sculptures were melted and then shaped, Plastica similarly investigates the manipulation and interaction of layers within a musical whole. Steinberg's Daniel Spreadbury is waiting with envelope number 2.
Hello again. I'm very pleased to be back to present the Dorico Award for Small and Medium Scale Work. And we'll open the golden envelope. And the winner of the Dorico Award for Small Medium Scale Work is Plastica by Edwin Hillier. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Edwin. Our penultimate category is the award for the recording of new music, sponsored by Vox Carnix. This was another panel meeting that went on for a lot longer than scheduled, and there will be a fair number of recordings from the nominations, not just the shortlist, that will end up on some Christmas lists. This evening's unplanned viola theme continues with Air Ocean, a groundbreaking EP from viola player Rachel Black, aka Liv Massive, and Hessian Renegade, a hip-hop duo of Connor Moore and Ross McCann. Released on Esquimaux Records, Erosion combines elements of folk, classical, hip-hop, and Scottish mythology to tell a story of change and hope. The Night With, Live Volume 1, is the first album to be released by the TNW Music. It's a retrospective of the previous season of live concerts, with a wide variety of performers and composers on a disc which manages to capture the spirit of live events. The Letters disc, recorded for Naxos by Paul Hillier and Chamber Choir Ireland, features a superb recording of David Fennessy's choral work, Triptych. Based on 3 very different letters, the work is powerful and enthralling, with a recorded performance to match. From Ocean's Floor is Linda Buckley's first disc on NMC Records. Linda finds herself joined by a host of other performers for a collection that references traditional Irish music alongside immersive experimental electronic sounds, connecting the past and present and looking towards the future. Keith Bruce and Ken Walton have reviewed many a disc over the years, so we're very happy that their new venture, Vox Carnix, has taken on supporting this category. Over to you, Keith.
My colleague Ken Walton and myself are delighted to be involved with the Scottish Awards for New Music in the first year of operation of Vox Carnix, and to sponsor the award for the recording of new music. And now, the winner is joint winners, David Fennessy for Letters and The Night With Volume 1.
Double winners, eh? Congratulations to Dave and to The Night With. Our final category is one that we hope will be a one-time only award. The ISM Award for New Music in COVID Times. This category acknowledges the role that music has played in either providing a moment of light relief, insight, or reflection during the pandemic. It included big budget productions as well as some homemade ones. Some made right at the start, others with the benefit of a year of experience to draw on. The panel were really, and I mean really, impressed that so many of these submissions had artistic integrity at their core. 10 composers from Drake Music Scotland and Tinderbox Collective combined for their Distant Duets project. Sam Irvin and Karen Sutherland, Ellie Hendricks, Rona Smith, Emma Clark and No Moniker, Chris Jacquin and Leo Basica, and Erin O'Neill and Claire Doherty teamed up and collaborated remotely, and never having met before, to create 5 stunning new works, which they then performed in an online event. Be Mine in Patience, an Embrace in B minor from Michael Begg and the Black Glass Ensemble, is a work that has already been mentioned this evening. The original Embrace was a textured drone from the ensemble and guest artist Colin Potter. One social media appeal and 247 tracks from 104 musicians worldwide later, and the Embrace was much bigger. Nevis Ensemble's Lochen Sketches is another work we've already heard about. This time, though, it's the full 10-sketch version, with works by Angela Slater, Alex Paxton, Suzanne Parry, Sarah Leanne Lewis, and Hoang Lee, joining to the previous 5. The resulting project is a portrait of Scotland in many ways, with the landscape a key part of it. Our final shortlisted nominee of the year is another project which quickly becomes addictive, the COVID-19 Sound Map, created by Pete Stollery. The map is a crowdsourced project where the public is invited to consider everyday oral environments that have changed as a result of restrictions put in place around the world, uploading recordings along with text that reflects on the changes to the sonic environment that the pandemic has caused. Quite a lot of time can vanish as you tour the world with your headphones on. Thanks to ISM for supporting this category. Here's Ruth McPherson brandishing the last golden envelope of the year.
The Scottish Awards for New Music 2021. Congratulations to all the nominees of the ISM Award for New Music in COVID Times, a new category for this unprecedented year. And now to the golden envelope. And the winner is Nevis Ensemble for their project Lochen Sketches. Congratulations.
Congratulations to my Nevis Ensemble family. Yay! On behalf of New Music Scotland, I'd just like to thank all of the funders, sponsors, and supporters. It hasn't been fun to be a musician and opera singer over the last year, so your support is very much appreciated by all of us. Thank you to Catherine Wren, Nordic Viola, and to Electra and Eddie. Thanks to the RSNO for the use of their lovely home. A huge thanks to our 22 panelists. They've listened to or looked at 288 different pieces of work, some of them twice, at least, and we're genuinely happy to have done so. Thanks to all of those who made a nomination or responded to emails for information about their work. The biggest thanks of all, though, goes to any musician who made any music at all over the last year. It's been very difficult. And the creativity, patience, skill, and innovation and musicianship shown has been truly inspiring. See you all next year, if not before. Good night.